Happy video day, guys. So today's video, we're going to be doing a review follow-up. I haven't done a review follow-up in a little while because I've really been testing a lot of these products out a lot for you guys because some of these products are a little bit more high-end. They're a little bit more expensive. So I really wanted to try them a lot before I give you guys a final, what am I thinking of them? Not every single one of these are super expensive, but you know, there's some here that are pretty expensive. We're gonna go over a bunch of products. I'm gonna tell you guys what I'm thinking, how do they feel, how have they performed, and yeah. If you guys are new here, my name is Christina Brooke. This is the Glam Ranch. I'd love it if you'd hit the subscribe button if you guys like makeup, because I talk about makeup. That's what I do, talk about makeup. So let's go ahead and let's get into the stuff because there is a lot of stuff. VIB sale is happening right now, so if you guys are going to pick up any of these items, I definitely wanted to get this review out for you guys so you guys know what I'm thinking about these things. So the first thing I'm going to tell you guys about is something that I love. I think that this was a phenomenal product. So this is from Natasha Denona. This is the Super Glow from Natasha Denona. I love this so much. This is a ginormous size highlight. Look at that. Hello. This is such a big highlight. You get so much product in here. It is a great case. I love the mirror in this. It's such a well-designed product and I really, really like the highlight a lot. So I'm definitely gonna tell you guys that for me personally, I actually picked up the color Fair. I know that there was one that's kind of like in between. I don't know if it's called medium, but I think that Fair looks really good on my skin tone. So it just depends on if you guys want something to show up like an icy, beautiful highlighter, if you want it to be more subtle. I wanted something icy. I was like, if I'm gonna spend money on a Natasha Denona highlight, I want the whole world to see it, you know what I mean? So that's exactly what I did. So I just swatched it right here on my hand. So it's a beautiful icy kind of highlight. It looks so beautiful on the skin. Anytime that you guys have these type of highlights that are kind of like very bright, they're gonna emphasize a little bit of texture. So this guy is not different from that. You do have emphasis on texture. I believe this one was like $38. I definitely think this one is totally worth it. It lasts throughout the day. What I love about it too is it kind of has like a wet look to it. It's not like one of those, it's no glitter. Like you have absolutely no glitter in this highlight. And even when you touch it, it feels wet. Like it has like, it doesn't feel wet. It just feels so smooth and silky. It's like a really nice formula and that's what it feels like on your cheeks. It looks silky and beautiful. I love this highlight. I think it's a phenomenal one, so definitely would recommend this, like, for sure. All right, guys, so let's talk about another product that I totally would recommend, and this one too is from Natasha Denona. This is the Gold Palette. I love this palette. I just think it's so beautiful. I have told you guys in the review when I first tried this that I thought I was gonna love it, and I do. I definitely do love this palette a lot. I think it's a very wearable palette. I will tell you, the only thing that I have noticed using this palette multiple times on a very regular basis, some of these tones do look very similar on the lid. I do think that when you swatch them, you do see a pretty nice color difference. There is a nice color difference, but when you apply them to the eyes, some of these brown hues do have a very similar tone. So that is maybe one thing that I would say, like maybe it would have been cool if she would have maybe changed maybe one of these browns, either made it a lot lighter or maybe made it a different color. I would have preferred that. But I won't say that that knocks this palette out of the park at all because I do think that the shades work beautifully. They blend so well in the eyes. Like I've seen palettes blend well and then there's this palette. This palette literally blends itself. It is so phenomenal. First impression was pretty spot on with this guy. I'm gonna stop, it's gonna like blind you guys, so I'm gonna leave it open. But it really is such a great palette. I do enjoy it a lot. I think that the colors in here last really good on the eyes. I've come up with some really, really good eye looks with it, and I do think it's a very, very good palette. I would definitely say that this is splurge worthy. This palette is expensive at $129, so if you guys are gonna purchase this during the VIB sale that you guys get 20% off, it would be a really good time to do it. Me personally, I think for the vast majority of the Natasha Denona palettes, this is one of the ones that I do like the most. There is another palette that she did back in her bigger palettes that is like very, very expensive that I like too. And this 120-ish price point, I love this palette the most. I really, really like the colors. It's very, very versatile. It's very easy to use. The shimmers in here and the metallics in here and the glitter. This shade right here has a little bit of glitter in it. So pretty. This is definitely a worth it palette. I have been using this a lot. If you guys follow me on Instagram at the Glam Ranch, you guys will see when I put my pictures of what I'm wearing that day. I wear this one a lot because it's very easy to use, and that's what I wanted in a very expensive palette. Easy to use. I do know that, yes, expensive palettes don't need to be easy to use. You can buy very extravagant palettes in very different colors. I'm just not at that point yet with expensive palettes. I'm kind of still at the point that I'm like, I want to use you all the time. So let's jump into an extravagant palette that I kind of felt like I am so torn on this palette. Even till right now, I'm still torn. I actually created this eye look using the palette, and I really love this eye look so much. So that is why it's like one of those palettes that right when I have my decision made up, I change my mind. It's very hard to pinpoint what I feel about this palette. This is the Bronze Seduction Mothership from Pat McGrath, okay? I love the look of this. I love this packaging. I think it's beautiful. It reminds me of art. I like the experience. I like the whole shebang. The palette itself, beautiful. Do I think it's too heavy? I still think this palette is way too heavy. Yes, I understand it's supposed to be the experience. Yes, I understand all that stuff, but it's so heavy. You cannot travel with this, guys. Like, this is not going to be a travel companion with you. This is like an award that you put on your countertop and you don't move it. Like, that's how it feels. It's beautiful, and I love actually the modernism of this. I love this. I love the back. I love the way it looks so sleek and modern and luxurious. However, it's hard to figure out which palette you have, so if you guys have multiple Pat McGraths, I can see how it could be a pain. It does say it right here, Mothership 5, very small, so if you do have other palettes, I guess you could find it that way. However, I would have liked if maybe they would have put like a gold plate right here that would have said like Mothership 5 so you could store them upright. Maybe all the plates would say like the name of the palette. I think that would have been like just a little bit more functional. Now the palette itself, probably one of the most beautiful palettes I've seen. When I saw the announcements of this palette coming out, I was already like, I want you. Like, I need you in my life. It was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. The glass, heavy duty glass, heavy duty packaging. No complaints about the packaging, only that I think it's a little bit too much packaging. Now let's get into the shadows. Now this is the problem that I have with this palette that I love, and then at the same time sometimes I'm like, what? I don't know what to do. Is that there's so many shades in here that have glitter in them, and it's very glittery palette. Now I did not know that this was going to be so glittery. Then again, guys, I don't own any other Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette. I have not been somebody who has purchased from Pat McGrath often because the price point is very high. I was waiting for that palette that really I love to buy, and this was the one that really called my attention. I didn't realize that there was so many glitters in here, so I do want to point that out to you guys, that if you guys are looking at this palette has a lot of her like glitter formula in it. And if you guys don't wear glitters a lot, being a $125 eyeshadow palette, you need to know that there is a lot of glitters in here. I feel like this one all have that glittery formula, and I feel like this one does too. I'm not 100% sure. These here are mattes. There's 3 mattes here. This one here has more of a silky formula. This one also has more of a silky formula. The only thing that I noticed is in some of the glitter formulas here, it's like gritty. Like you actually feel the glitter, which is new to me. I'm not used to that feeling of glitters in there. Like it's chunky, you know what I mean? But then there's the other thing with glitter glue. Do I think that you should use a glitter glue? You could. Does she say anywhere on her website that in order to make her eyeshadow palettes perform the best, use a glitter glue? No, she doesn't say that anywhere. In the description doesn't say it. Anywhere that you go to purchase this palette, it does not say, FYI, use a glitter glue. Now, I personally have glitter glue, but I use it more for loose glitters. I do think shadows like this will perform a little bit better if you do use a glitter glue, but I have to also take into consideration that my viewers, most people, don't just go around putting glitter glue on their eyes. So when they use palettes like this, they need to know if this stuff performs without having to use additives, without having to use even Fix Plus. Sometimes I make sure to let you guys know I sprayed my brush to make this work, because some people are not going to do that. Some people do not have glitter glue. Some people don't want to put more junk on their eyes, and I totally agree with you. I don't like to put more junk on my eyes than I need to. So that being said, I have used this with a glitter glue. I do think it makes a difference. I do think it makes the shadows stick a little bit better. But I have to admit to you guys, if you use a small flat packing brush and you really pack this glitter onto your eyes, it does a very good effect even without glitter glue. So I do not think that you need to use glitter glue when you're using this palette. Now, you will have fallout on your eyes. There is going to be fallout on your eyes. Like I have already some right around here. There's fallout on my eyes. I don't think that it's an excessive amount of fallout. The formula tech definitely is very unique with this glitter formula, especially. It's very different. And I actually am very intrigued by it only because of the way it performs, because I do not think that you need to use a glitter glue with it. If you had to use a glitter glue with it, I would not be impressed with the formula. I would actually say, what a pain. But because of the fact that I feel like these glitters perform good without a glitter glue, is the reason I'm gonna tell you I'm more impressed with this palette. Now, some of the other shadows in here I think blend well. I think it's a good palette. I like it more now than I did when I first purchased it. If you wanted metallic shadows that glide on your eyes, this isn't the palette for you. This does have a lot of glitters in it, and even the metallic shadows are a little bit gritty. So I do think that if you're looking for that eyeshadow palette that has all the metallics in it and it glides on your eyes, this isn't the palette. This one has more glitters in it, and it also has more gritty metallics. So I feel like that is something that you definitely need to think of. When I first purchased this, it kind of turned me off, and I wasn't sure if I liked it because of that, because my mind was somewhere else. I was thinking something else, and when I got it, I was like, I don't know if I like this. But I will tell you, I have warmed up to it more. I'm starting to like it more. As of right now, I think I'm probably not going to be returning this guy. I thought for a minute I was going to send it back. I fought myself. Do I not? Do I send it back? Do I not? And I finally have come to the conclusion that I think I might be keeping this palette because of that glitter formula, which is probably the reason that I wanted to return it in the first place, because I thought it was too much glitter. Just because I think it's so unique and there's something very different and special about it. The mattes in here, they blend well. Nothing like out of this world. Are they good? Yeah, good. Yeah, they blend okay. I think the Natasha Denona Gold Palette blends a little bit better than mattes, but I do think that they're good. So I think it's an okay palette. I think it's a beautiful coloration of the palette. And I just think that this one here is going to be very of a personal preference. If you guys don't mind glitters, and if you guys are not looking for an eyeshadow palette to wear every day, if you guys think of makeup like art and you're looking for that different eyeshadow palette to add to your collection, this is the one. This is the one you add. If you guys are looking for a eyeshadow palette that you're going to wear very often, you don't want to spend that much money on an eyeshadow palette, you're probably not going to wear that often, don't get this one. So now let's talk about one that is not as expensive as the other eyeshadow palettes that I told you guys about, but I do think it's a really good eyeshadow palette. I'm actually very shocked with this quality. And actually, to be completely honest, it has... If it wasn't for the glitters in the other formula that I think is really interesting, this eyeshadow palette shocked me a little bit more than the Pat McGrath, because I just think it was just such good quality for the price point. I also think it's very wearable, and I think it's something that a lot of people would enjoy, and that is from Colored Raine. So now this is the Colored Raine Queen of Hearts. So this palette here is the Colored Raine Queen of Hearts. I really love this palette. Like, I love this palette, and I have absolutely no hesitation totally telling you guys that this is worth the money. It is a beautiful eyeshadow palette. It is expensive, but I purchased this one on sale when I bought it. Of course, guys, everything I talk about, I am linking below so you guys can find them. And I love this palette. This palette is absolutely stunning. Every single one of the colors that I have used in this palette, which is basically all of them, have blended beautifully. Highly pigmented. We're talking about nice pigment in this palette. This is not a palette that I would even say for a minute that they skipped out on pigmentation. The pigmentation is great. Yes, it is not that heavy eyeshadow palette, but it is absolutely beautiful. Now, I did see a subscriber say on somebody else's video that this palette reminded them a lot of the Mothership 5. If you guys are interested, I will do a dupes video of these two. Let me know below if you guys want me to do that, because people have said that, and I do see some similarities. I don't see all similarities, but there's some. So if you guys want me to try to see if they are kind of dupe for each other, let me know. But yeah, so I do think that this is a really good palette. I love it a lot. I definitely would highly recommend this one. Beautiful coloration, great color story, a lot of looks that you can come out with. I think out of all the palettes that I've shown you, the one that you can come out with the most looks is this one. Even over the Natasha Denona, I feel like you can come up with more looks with the Colored Raine. So now the final thing I'm going to tell you guys about is from Kylie Cosmetics. I did a first impression on her lip kit, and I got the color Candy K. It's this one right here. So I really think that these Kylie lip kits are awesome. They're very impressive to me. They are extremely impressive to me. I think that they work awesome. Now, one thing I will tell you guys is I love the lip liner so much. The lip liner is phenomenal. I love their lip liner. So now the matte liquid lip is really good too. I love the color. Candy K is a beautiful color. So if you guys want me to recommend a color, Candy K, I love it so much. Now I will tell you guys, I wore this lip color for like 3 or 4 days in a row, and after you wear it for like 3 or 4 days, you do start to feel your lips getting a little dry. So just remember that it does dry out your lips. You need to give your lips a break with this one because it does dry out your lips a little bit, and I felt like my lips felt like really dry. So I definitely would say that. But do I think it's a good product? I do. I think it lasted really good on the lips. I think it looked really pretty. It is matte, so you do see some of the lines in your lips, but I don't think it was that much. I think a lot of people also say that they like her velvets. I haven't tried her velvets yet, but for the matte formula, I do think it works really well. I think it's very pretty, but it is drying, and I do think after like 3 days, your lips are like, I need a break. So that's all the products that I have for the first impressions review follow-up. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. So let me know in the comments below what you guys are thinking about these products. What is your impressions? What are you guys thinking? I really like to know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button and the subscribe button down below, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.